I don't really like the idea of memorizing stuff because in the heat of the moment, I'm gonna forget. It's not so much like, oh, hey, are you sure? No, it's I know I'm gonna forget because I get stressed out and memorization isn't my strongest suit. So, what can you do to combat this? I prefer remembering strategies. That way, I can kind of like have a tool at my disposal in the event that I can't memorize something. I don't know. It allows me to be more flexible with the things I can do. A couple of things I want to establish first. Understand that pi is equivalent to 180 degrees, right? Just remember that. It's going to be important for later. Now then, we can divide the unit circle into parts. We can be flexible in the amount of parts that we divide it into. So let's say here, we wanted to divide our unit circle into 4 parts, right? Or at least the top part. Let's focus on the top part for now. This top half, we divide it into 2 parts. So this would be 0. This would be pi over 2. And this would be pi, right? Because 0, pi over 2, and then pi, 180, 90 degrees, 0. Okay, cool. But what is one way we can derive all the values of pi, including the things we need to memorize, including 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 45 degrees, and the values over here, and over here? I'm not going to remember those. But one way to do it is to divide the unit circle into 12 parts. 12 parts top half, 12 parts bottom half. What happens is that this part becomes 1/12 of the unit circle. Converted to... Now remember, this is 1 pi over 12. I just didn't write it so that way we wouldn't get confused. So this is 1/12 of the unit circle. This is 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12. I think you might have an idea of what I'm kind of implying here. So for the 1/12, if we go and apply the pi and whatever else we need to, we end up with pi over 12. 15 degrees, where is that coming from? Well, 15 degrees is coming from, remember how I said pi is equivalent to 180 degrees? Well, if you decide to enter 180 divided by 12, 15 degrees. Now then, let's say instead you decide, right, I want to keep on going. So pi over 2. Pi over 6, divide 180 by 6, 30 degrees. 3 over 12, that's pi over 4. 180 by 4, 45, so on and so forth. You can keep on doing this until you reach pi. I didn't include pi because that's 12 out of 12. Pi, or 180 degrees. As long as you do it, like with pencil, you can feel free to just erase this. You erase that, you end up with, let's say we ignore that. We ignore this part. The things we can't simplify, cross them out, and bam. You already have the degrees you need to memorize and the associated values in radians. You have pi over 6, 30 degrees, pi over 4, 45 degrees, and pi over 3, 60 degrees. Ignore these. Ignore that. Ignore that. Now, what's left up to you is memorizing the coordinates. I just wanted to quickly share that because, for me at least, this at least eliminates the work of memorizing those measurements in the event of an exam. And that would be about it.